What's going on, guys? The TNT Muffin here, and as I'm sure all of you guys know, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie animatronics are at Universal Studios. It's at a thing called Behind the Screams as a part of Halloween Horror Nights in Universal Studios Hollywood. However, that's not the only thing that's there. I actually just went there recently and got to see some cool FNaF stuff, so I thought it might be fun to make a video talking about everything that's there. And not only that, but there is also some stuff at Universal Studios Orlando, so I'm gonna go over that as well. Starting off with Universal Orlando, Christian Stokes, the actor for Hank in the FNaF movie, made a tweet saying, "Went to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando, had a blast, saw so much cool FNaF stuff that I just can't post. Hopefully the WGA and SAG will reach a deal soon with the AMPTP and I can share." If you don't understand what he's talking about there, it's basically that because of the actor strike that's going on, he's not allowed to post anything with FNaF in it, so that's why he hasn't shared anything that he actually saw. And then someone replied to this tweet saying, "Is it accessible to the public? Because the only FNaF stuff known at Halloween Horror Nights at the event is the one in Hollywood." And Christian Stokes replied saying, "I found some little Easter eggs, smiley face." Which was a big surprise to me and a lot of other people, because as far as we knew, the only FNaF stuff was at Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood because of those animatronics. But apparently Christian Stokes found some stuff in Orlando. Now I assumed what he meant is he saw like posters or something, because FNaF movie posters are pretty much everywhere right now. Or maybe some themed FNaF foods, because I know there's like Scoops Ahoy, Stranger Things themed food in Hollywood, but apparently not. Because we do actually have some images of the stuff that was there. First of all is this one showing some Five Nights at Freddy's movie pins. So there's 3 pins in this image. You can see there's one with Foxy, one with Freddy, and one with Chica. It's got the FNaF movie logo, it's got the character's name, and it says, "Can you survive?" down at the bottom. So these are apparently just pins they're giving out in Universal Studios Orlando. This is not in Hollywood, I don't believe. I went there and I didn't see any, and I haven't seen anybody talk about it, so I do believe this is only in Orlando. So that's really cool. It's nice seeing FNaF movie merch. Not anything too interesting though, just little pins. Although something that is a bit more interesting is there's also this shirt. And speaking of shirts, I did just make some merch, so if you want, you can go buy some of that stuff, link in the description. As you can see, it's a white shirt. It's got the little Five Nights at Freddy's movie logo there in red. It's got this red ring around the collar and also around the sleeves. And then on the back of it, there's the checkerboard pattern, and then the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place logo in the middle. So yeah, it's a pretty cool looking shirt. It's something I would actually wear in public. But it's just at Universal Studios Orlando. Apparently they're giving them away for free, which is what I heard. So I guess if you're over there, you can just go over there and get a shirt. I assume the reason they have this stuff is because, you know, since people in Orlando couldn't see the animatronics, they're giving them something else to make up for it. Not the best trade-off, but it's still cool to be doing. Popping in because there's a little thing I forgot to talk about, and also there's one more new picture I have that my friend Mr. Pinball got. First of all, I forgot to mention that there's this movie theater at Universal Orlando that's completely covered in FNaF movie advertising. It's got that big Five Nights at Freddy's logo at the top, and then that graphic with all the characters in the ball pit covering the front of the building. And I do believe that this is the place where you get that shirt in those pins. And then they also got this picture, which was outside of one of the mazes. Basically, they were just playing the FNaF movie trailer while everybody has to wait in line. So I guess that's a cool thing to be looking at while you're waiting. Anyway, now back to when my hair was longer. Anyway, moving on now to the stuff in Universal Studios Hollywood. First of all, there's some stuff that's not actually in Universal Studios, but it is very close by, still in the area. First of all, when I was in the Uber going over to the hotel from the airport, I saw this FNaF Billboard, which was a big surprise. I hadn't seen anybody post about anything like this, so just sitting in the car and then looking up and seeing a giant Five Nights at Freddy's sign was crazy. But yeah, as you can see, it's got the Five Nights at Freddy's movie logo at the top left, and then it's got the 4 animatronics in the ball pit. Like I mentioned, I saw that on the drive to the hotel from the airport. However, I didn't go straight to the hotel because I actually made a stop at this FNaF building. It was actually a pretty wild coincidence. The day I landed there, people found out that there was this FNaF building, which is just like this building with a black roof. It's got the checkerboard pattern on the top and the bottom, and then it's got these colored panels which have silhouettes of the FNaF animatronics, and then these little quotes, stuff from the game, like where fantasy and fun come to life. So yeah, that was really cool to be seeing, and actually a couple days later, the day I was gonna leave, another crazy coincidence, right before I left, they apparently put down this giant sign onto the building with the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza logo and Freddy Fazbear at the top, so I did end up actually getting to see that right before I went back to the airport. I also asked the workers what it was going to be because they weren't completely finished building it yet, and they said it was just for advertisement purposes, so it's not actually going to be anything you can go inside of. And this did get confirmed because they ended up putting lights inside and putting on a fake door at the front, so it is just a really cool thing that you can go there and look at, not anything you can go inside of. Either way though, it's really awesome. Like, being a FNaF fan for over 9 years, and then finally going and seeing a Freddy Fazbear's Pizza building was really amazing. But yeah, that's at Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood, so if you're around the area and you're a FNaF fan, totally recommend going over there. And then another thing is actually this FNaF bus was found by my friend Talkbox. It's a bus with that same graphic as the billboard with the animatronics inside of the ball pit and the FNaF movie logo. Really crazy thing. I would love to ride on the FNaF bus. And now let's talk about the stuff actually in Universal Studios Hollywood. First of all, right when you get through the gates, if you turn to the right, there is this FNaF movie poster on the wall. It's not anything too special, it's just like a really big FNaF movie poster. It's in a pretty cool frame, and there's also this little podium that somebody was supposed to stand behind, like a worker, but no one was there, so I stood behind it. Interesting thing about this is we went back to look at it at nighttime, and as you can see, it's got like some weird lighting with it. Like, it kind of looks like when you brighten up a dark image and it's just like got completely black spots and it doesn't really look that right. It is like that on the poster. It's a little weird, but that's what it looks like. Also, right outside of the gates, I think, like, I wasn't really sure where this was. I couldn't figure out how to get over there. It was an area I think was closed off for Halloween Horror Nights or something. But I saw this Foxy poster in the distance, Foxy in the ball pit. I wish I could go up closer to it. I unfortunately could not, but it looks pretty sweet. And then the next FNaF thing you see isn't until way further down in the park. You've got to walk all the way over to the escalators, go down them, and then on the side of a building, there are these posters up, and one of them has Freddy on it. Now, this was actually a really cool thing to be seeing. First of all, because it's a giant poster, so seeing a really big graphic of Freddy was cool. And then also because seeing Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's alongside all of these like really big horror icons just showed how big FNaF was getting. So that's a pretty cool sight. And then of course, the thing that was the whole reason I went there, the animatronics. So Universal Studios has this thing every year called Halloween Horror Nights, where basically after the park closes, they open up this event where you can just go around and go in haunted houses and stuff, and it's really cool. Most of the stuff is themed around movies or TV shows, and this time they actually had something for FNaF. Now, this wasn't something actually themed around FNaF, it was just themed around Blumhouse movies in general, called Blumhouse's Behind the Screens. So basically, you go over there, you walk through this hallway that has posters for some of the movies, and then you get into the room, and it's just full of props from different Blumhouse films. There's glass cases full of stuff, like stuff from The Black Phone, from Megan, there's stuff from The Exorcist, which I didn't take pictures of, because I've never seen that. And then in the middle, basically the centerpiece of the whole thing, was a platform that had the 4 FNaF animatronics standing on top of it. So there I was, finally meeting Freddy Fazbear face to face, as well as the FNaF cupcake. And it was a really crazy thing to be seeing. Definitely a dream come true. I've always wanted FNaF to be real, and now it finally was. I got some pretty close-up videos of all the animatronics here, so I'll play that while I'm talking. I noticed that Foxy's head actually was like very open, and you could see the endoskeleton a lot better than the other animatronics. So I tried to get a good view of that. Then there's also Chica with the cupcake, which is really awesome to be seeing. And then there was Bonnie, and the cool thing about him is he's got his guitar, which looks exactly like the one from Help Wanted. And I mean, it's spot on. It's like you just went in the game, grabbed the guitar, and took it out. It's even got like those little star shapes on the turny bits. What are they called? The things that you use to tune the guitar. But yeah, all the props were really well made. The animatronics looked great. Jim Henson's Creature Shop did an amazing job on all of them. They all are really accurate to the characters in-game. Also, a fun little detail here is I noticed that on the back of Foxy's head, there's a little piece of duct tape holding his eye patch on. Also, I want to mention that this room, if you end up going there, it's really crowded. If you want to get up close to anything after like the first maybe 30 seconds being in there, you've really got to push your way through people, because it's kind of just a completely filled room of people. So I ended up going in there twice because I wanted to get a good look at the Megan doll, which I didn't get to the first time, and also a better look at Bonnie, because I really wanted to take a good look at the guitar. And that's not where it ends, because after about 3 minutes of being in that room, giving like basically enough time for everyone to walk around and get a look at the animatronics and the props, the doors open up and you go inside of a theater. You don't have assigned seats or anything, it's kind of just first come, first served. If you get in there, you can try to get the best seats. Definitely recommend trying to get a front row seat if you end up going there. And basically what happens is they play some trailers for some of the Blumhouse movies on there, one of them being the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Now, I didn't expect anything from this. I was very excited to be seeing FNaF on the big screen, because I haven't seen any FNaF movie trailers in theaters yet, so that was going to be awesome to see. But what I didn't expect is there were actually a lot of clips in here that weren't seen in any of the other trailers, at least to my knowledge. I haven't seen all the trailers just because, you know, I don't want to spoil the entire movie for myself, but from what I saw in there, it seemed like there were clips that weren't in any of the other trailers. Yeah, that's all the stuff in Universal Studios. Another small thing is that not in the actual park, at the little shopping area nearby, there was a store that I went into, and they had some FNaF stuff, but I'm not sure if that really counts. So yeah, that is all the stuff I saw in Universal Studios, as well as the stuff I heard about being in Orlando. There might be more stuff there, I'm not sure. If you guys are going to Universal Orlando or have gone there, and you saw more Five Nights at Freddy's stuff, please let me know what you saw. And yeah, I guess that is the end of the video, so if you want to subscribe, you can click the button on top of my head. If you want to watch some of my other videos, you can click these buttons over here, and I'll see you, I guess, if they do this again next year.